Hello and welcome to College Algebra, Math 1314. I'm David Dipple from Lone Star College, Montgomery. My email address is david.a.dipple@lonestar.edu. Now, the PowerPoints will be on my website, which is lonestar.edu/blogs/ddipple. That's DIPPEL. All the PowerPoints and these videos are on that blog site. And the homework for college algebra at Montgomery College can be found in mymathlab.com. If you look in the syllabus, that will give you the login information for MyMathLab. Chapter 1, Section 1 deals with solving equations. Suppose we have 7x minus 3 equals 4x plus 5. The first thing we need to do is move all variables, all letters, to the left side, in this case because the left side has a larger letter in it. If you move them to the right, you'll have negatives, and students tend to make more mistakes with negatives. So to do that, we do the inverse, do the opposite of 4, which is minus 4. So we subtract 4x. The 4x disappears on the right. 7x minus 4x is 3x. Then we need to move the letters, the numbers. So we need to move this minus 3 by adding 3, its inverse. So we have 3x is left on the left side equals 8. Then to move the 3, we use division, and our x is equal to 8/3. A little more complicated equations. Anytime you have parentheses, you need to distribute. 4 times 2 is 8x. 4 times 1 is 4. So you get 8x minus 4. Then the right side, 3x minus 7. And just like we did before, we move our 3x by subtracting. So 8 minus 3 is 5x minus 4, and this 3x moves, so it is now just a minus 7. Move the 4 by addition, so we plus 4, negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3. So what's left on the left is 5x. The right is negative 3. And then to move the 5, we divide, so x is negative 3/5. Sometimes I'll have like a single letter equals, and then variables, and they want you to find a single variable, in this case w. We start by moving whatever is farthest away from the w. 3 is added right next to it. Then outside is multiplied by h, and then multiplied by 2/3. So we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of these. And the farthest away is the 2/3, and then the h, so we move those. First the 2/3 by its reciprocal, 3/2. So we have 3 when you multiply, gets 3b. And then when you divide, gives you 2. Now the next farthest is the letter h, so we divide because it's now multiplied. So you get 3b divided by 2h, and then the h is moved over, so you have a plus 3. To move it, you subtract 3. So it's 3b divided by 2h minus 3. Now when we get to section 2 of chapter 1, we're working with word problems. And whenever you have a word problem, what you need to do is read through the problem and then draw a picture if it is all possible. And it usually is you're drawing triangles or squares or rectangles, some geometric shape that you have information on. Then when you label all the parts with the numbers that they give you, and the missing parts, call them x or y, whatever variable you want to use. Then write an equation. Perimeter, that's adding up the sides. Length and width, find area. Length times width, things like that are the equations we're going to use. And then solve that equation by either adding or subtracting, multiplying or dividing, whatever you need to do. Now suppose we have a triangle with a perimeter of 44 feet. The longest side is twice the shortest side, and the middle side is 4 feet longer than the shortest side. So I'm going to draw a triangle, and it doesn't matter what real shape it is. And I just need a short side, a middle side, and a longest side. It says the longest side is twice the shortest side. So I'm going to put x on the shortest side. Twice means I'm going to put 2x, I'm going to double it. And the middle is 4 longer, so I'm going to add 4. So I put my short, my middle is add 4, and my longest is double it. Then it says perimeter. Well, perimeter is if I add things all up. my x and my x plus 4, and my 2x. So if you start over here, 2x, move to the x plus 4, and clockwise to the x, that has to equal 44. Then if we combine like terms, 2x plus 1x plus another x is 4x plus 4. Move the number to the right side by subtracting, so you get 40, divide, and you get 10. So x is 10, x plus 4 is going to be 14, that's the middle, and 2 times 10 is 20 is the longest side. So once you have the x is 10, just plug it into each of these to find the missing sides. Okay, another word problem. A man can take a boat and he goes upstream, takes him 15 minutes, and he's going to go to some camp. And then the return trip, which is downstream, takes 8 minutes. Now it's going to take less time because the river is going with the man, so his paddling will be a certain speed, and then going up he has to paddle against it, which slows him down. Going downstream, the stream speeds him up. Now the river flows at 5 miles per hour. Now if you notice, this is in hours and these are in minutes, so we're going to have to do some unit conversions to get them all into the same unit. Now I've drawn a little picture. Suppose we start here and the river is flowing down, so he paddles up river, gets to the camp, and it takes him 15 minutes. Then he turns around and comes back going down river, so the flow of the river speeds him up and it only takes him 8 minutes. So we know that the distance going up, starting and going up to the camp, has to equal the distance going down from the camp back down. The distance doesn't get any shorter, he just goes faster. Now, to find distance, we need a rate and a time. So, going upstream, we have a rate, and we have a time. And going downstream, we have a rate and a time. So, whatever our rate is, minus 5, because that's the river. Because when he's going upstream, we need some variable for our rate. And we're going to subtract 5 if we're going upstream. And then our time is 15 over 60ths, because there are 60 minutes in an hour. We need to convert to hours. And then going downstream, he gets going faster, so it's the person, or the boat, plus 5, which is the boat plus the river, and the time is 8/60ths. Then if you take 15/60ths and 8/60ths, if you'll multiply by both sides by 60, you'll have 15 times x and 15 times 5, 8 times x and 8 times 5. The 60s will cancel from both sides because they're equal to each other. Then when you're solving, subtract 8. 15 minus 8 is 7. Add 75, get 115, and divide. And that gives you 16.4. So those are the types of questions you'll have in Section 1 earlier, algebraic, solving equations, and then in Section 2, word problems, which you should draw a picture, write an equation, distance, rate, time, perimeter, whatever it is, and then solve it. Then just make sure you go back to my math lab and work Section 1 and Section 2.